I'm Janet Freeman Daly, a lung cancer patient and activist. At age 55, I developed a light cough, kind of a and didn't pay too much attention to it until we were going to be going out of the country, and my husband said, "You really ought to get that checked." So I went to the doctor, told him we were going to be traveling. He gave me an antibiotic. I came back. My husband's son and I all contracted an upper respiratory infection. They got over it a week, and I started coughing up blood, and they said, "That's not right." So went back to the doctor, got more antibiotics, didn't do any good. So he said, "Let's do a chest x-ray." It looks like carcinoma, and I was diagnosed and active with stage 3 lung cancer at age 55. I was in shock. So then I was kind of regrouping, and at that point, to cope, I got more involved with the online patient community, where I found other people who had my type of cancer, who'd gone through the treatments I had, who were dealing with the side effects I had, and I found that very helpful. When I got into the patient communities, being something of a science geek, I tended to help people understand the science of why things worked, or why a particular treatment was used, or why the doctor did a particular test, and found that some of those patients really appreciated it. Cancer makes you realize you have no control over anything, and you begin to wonder what the purpose is, and I found my purpose. My background in engineering and my science training has made a big difference, I think, in my advocacy and my effectiveness. I think the researchers realize that I'm talking the same language they are, and the doctors realize that. I'm also aware of the scientific process and a little more patient with things, the slow pace of things when you're doing basic science. The more we've learned about genomic drivers of cancer, the more we've discovered that any patient can have a genomic driver. It doesn't matter whether they smoked or not. So why are we blaming people for having lung cancer? You'd think it's because they did something they shouldn't do. We don't blame people for eating too much. We don't blame people for eating red meat and getting heart disease. Why is lung cancer singled out? It shouldn't matter whether you smoked or not. Lung cancer is a horrible disease, and no one deserves to get it.